So the less said about Oakland, the better. The Indians are off to Texas for an old-fashioned showdown with the first-place Rangers. And oh yeah, they get to see Jonathan Lucroy, who thumbed his nose at joining Cleveland and later was traded to the Rangers, where he joins an already impressive lineup. To solve their offensive woes, the Indians will have to take down Cole Hamels, who owns the second lowest ERA in the American League. Next on Sports Time Ohio. The Indians Traveling Roadshow heads south to the Lone Star State, where we've got a big showdown tonight. The Central Division leading Indians clash with the Western Division leading Texas Rangers. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Look, it's no real shock or surprise that since the Indians' 14-game win streak, they've been a 500 ball club. But since they built that 7-game lead in the division, they've only lost one game in the loss column to Detroit, so that's the good news. But they do need to get things turned around because they laid an egg in Oakland.
Well, they certainly did. But you're coming into Texas, and I'll tell you what, teams with the two best records in the American League. You've got the Rangers, the Indians. This should be fun time of year for baseball. You know what? You go out there, you give it all, you lay it on the line. They did. Their energy wasn't very good in Oakland, so they have to pick it up here. But you see the standings. It's going to be interesting the rest of the way. The Eastern Division starting to pick up the tempo a little bit when you look at the wild card. Detroit 2.5 out, and Seattle only 3 out. So this is going to be exciting baseball the rest of the way, and I'm looking forward to it.
Two first-place clubs is usually a good enough story, but there's a major subplot to this matchup because the Indians will face Jonathan Lucroy for the first time since he said no thank you to Cleveland and ended up going to Texas.
And he's got some big hits for the Texas Rangers. He's homered 7 times in the 19 games that he's played there. His average isn't that well, but I'll tell you what, he's been a big bonus for this team.
It all gets underway tonight. 4-game series showdown, Cleveland, Texas. The first pitch is next. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by your local Toyota dealers, visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. Tonight's game between the Indians and the Rangers will be televised on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the United States Armed Forces serving around the world on land and on ships at sea. Welcome in as we have a matchup tonight of first place clubs. The Central Division leading Indians at 72 and 53. The Rangers lead the West. They are 74 and 53 on the season. Texas has taken the field behind their left-hander Cole Hamels, and we'll get a look at the Indians starting lineup tonight, brought to you by Progressive. Rajai Davis will lead it off. Then it's Jason Kipnis, followed by Francisco Lindor, Mike Napoli, Carlos Santana, and Jose Ramirez, Brandon Guyer, Lonnie Chisenhall, and Roberto Perez.
And the Hyundai starting pitcher for the Texas Rangers will be Cole Hamels. Cole is 32 years old, left-hander, second best ERA in the league. He's 13-4, making his 26th start. He's 0-2 in his career against the Indians. He made a start against them this year with a no decision, went 7 innings, 6 hits, and 3 runs. He left with the game tied at 3-3. Let's set the defense behind him today. It looks like this in the outfield from left to right. It's going to be Gomez making his first start. They signed him to a contract after he was released. It'll be Desmond in center, Mazzara over in right, Beltre at third, Andrus at short, Odor is at second, Moreland at first, Lucroy doing the catching.
The umpires tonight, Brian O'Nora at the plate, Lance Barrett first base, crew chief Jeff Kellogg at second, John Tumpane is at third. Rajai Davis ready to lead it off for Cleveland. And Cole Hamels ready to let it fly for Texas. First pitch up and away, ball 1.
Hamels, a guy who moves his fastball around, great changeup, and he also has the breaking ball he can throw. He keeps you off balance.
Pop back out of play. Game time temperature tonight, 92 degrees. Quite a departure from the cool climes of Oakland, California.
You know, and it doesn't seem too bad here.
Rajai shoots it right back. 1-2 the count.
Key for the right-handers, try and stay on the baseball. Here's coming right back at you. Watch the fan. I don't care if you have netting in front of you or not. I would move every single time I see a ball coming back like that.
That's involuntary survival reaction. 1-2 pitch. He went around. Hamels strikes him out. Keys to the game are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Think the other way against Cole Hamels. Stay on that breaking ball. And for Josh Tomlin, the curveball will be important to separate, trying to keep the ball out of the fat part of the hitting area.
Exactly. Just stay out of the hitting lanes. Work the corners and beyond.
Now Jason Kipnis. Takes its low ball 1.
For Hamels on the year, left-handers hitting a .194 off him. Righties hitting .249. So he doesn't give up a whole lot of hits.
Jason Kipnis in his last 30 days, I'm not sure how many appearances that covers, but he's hit better than 400 against left-handed pitching. 18 for 43. And that's going to go foul. Sound like he broke his bat.
Well, he'll be walking back to get a new one. And he's been staying on the baseball. He's been hitting it where it's pitched. Cole Hamels, a guy that he expands the strike zone when he gets in front. He does have 61 walks. You know, and you figure that's a lot, but he also has 160 strikeouts.
Kipnis rolls it right at the second baseman, Rougned Odor, who throws him out. 2 down. Going to bring up Francisco Lindor. The Indians come in with a .265 team batting average. That's third best in the American League. They're averaging just under 5 runs a game, second most in the AL. They're third in doubles. Overall 7th in home runs.
Looks like Hamels wanted that pitch. He's looking inside to the home plate umpire, asking if that was inside. Of course, that's the only place it could be. He thought it was a very good pitch, and I sort of agree with him, but it was called the ball.
Lindor shoots that one deep left field. That'll get down for a base hit. Carlos Gomez cutting it off, and a 2-out single keeps the inning alive for Cleveland.
There he went down and got a little more of the plate, and Lindor able to pull that ball down the line. Gomez cuts it off and holds him to a single. And it was in that last start that Hamels made against the Indians in Cleveland, coming back on June 1st. The Indians were able to score all 3 of their runs with 2 outs. And Napoli hit a 2-run homer in the first with 2 outs.
Takes a strike. Napoli back in there defensively tonight at first base. In the last 7 games, he had appeared in the DH spot 4 times, including all 3 in Oakland after a day off. But Mike Napoli said, you know, it's just good to get a little rest. He said, I'm probably going to play the most games I've ever played in a single season. Never played more than 140 games. Slow roller to short, and that'll do it. No runs, a hit, a man left. The Rangers are coming to bat when we come back. At the starting lineup for the Texas Rangers under their skipper, Jeff Bannister. Nomar Mazara will lead it off. Ian Desmond, Carlos Beltran, recently acquired from the Yankees. Adrian Beltre, Rougned Odor, Jonathan Lucroy, Mitch Moreland, Carlos Gomez, and Elvis Andrus. The Rangers starting lineup presented by Spitzer Automotive.
And Josh Tomlin is our Honda starting pitcher. Josh looking for a win in the month of August, and he's going to have to turn it around. He is 0-4 in this month. His ERA is at 10, but here's a guy that has to turn it around and gets a pretty good offense here.
Pitch in there for a strike. Mazara in that conversation for Rookie of the Year honors. He's had a terrific campaign. 280 average, 15 homers, 49 driven in.
This is a guy that's really hit all over this lineup too. He was up in, I think, number 3 one time when we faced him earlier in the year. He's been down below. Now he's in the leadoff spot. This lineup has changed.
Upstairs 1-2. And that's asking a lot of any player, let alone a rookie.
Yeah, it is. But as long as you're in the top 9, that's all that counts. Nice.
Chased a breaking ball in the dirt. And Roberto Perez will throw him out. 1 down.
Let's check the Indians defense for you. Brought to you by Jeep. Behind Tomlin tonight, it'll be Geyer in left, Davis at center. Chisenhall gets the start against the lefty and right. Ramirez is at third, Lindor at short, Kipnis is at second, Napoli at first, and Perez doing the catching.
Well, this is an Indians defense that has performed very well. Right at Lindor, he'll drop to a knee to make sure he's got it, and a perfect throw, 2 down. Let's go down to Andre Knott with more on Josh Tomlin.
Well, Josh has had a mechanical flaw over the last few starts that Mickey Callaway was able to pick up on that he thinks has played into the lack of movement. Now, there has been some talk amongst the Indians brass that if he continues to give up the home runs at the pace that he's giving them up, that in September they may skip a start or 2 for him. Not because they feel like he has problems, but they feel like at times he may be trying to muscle up a little bit. And we all know with Josh Tomlin, it's not about mile per hour with him. They don't want him muscling up. They want the movement that he gets on the ball.
Something to keep an eye on. The 0-1 pitch to Carlos Beltran pops him up. Might be playable here. Jose Ramirez, a long run in, just inside the line. He makes the grab, and the Rangers go 1-2-3. We are scoreless after a 1.
MLB.com @bat app. You can stay connected all season with radio broadcasts, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Just download MLB.com @bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet.
Carlos Santana will lead off the second for Cleveland. Looks at a called strike. Santana second on the team to Mike Napoli in home runs with 27. One of 4 Indians with 64 or more runs batted in the lineup tonight. Jose Ramirez 3 shy of 60.
That's interesting. Odura moved over to the second base side a second after the 0-2 count.
Routine roller to short. 1 down. Stat of the game is brought to you by Buick. The Indians lost 6 of their first 9 against left-handed starters. Since then, they've been the best in the American League against southpaws.
It seems like we've seen a lot lately.
Yeah, you're
right.
right.
We're certainly going to see 2 more after tonight in this series. You get a lefty tomorrow, a right-hander on Saturday, and we'll close it out with a lefty. Usually we get him when we see the White Sox, but we're getting 3 out of the 4 here this weekend.
Jose Ramirez batting over 300, 10 homers, 57 driven in, and a liner to short, 2 down.
Hit it on the nose, down. I'll tell you what, he can hit a good breaking ball down.
Up comes Brandon Geyer. In the air to right. Charging in. Mazzara slides and makes the catch as the Indians are retired 1-2-3. No score, middle of the second. Second. Brian O'Nora getting maybe nicked himself shaving before the ball game.
What did he shave with? Chainsaw? He's got a pretty big bandage on. And as hot as it is, I don't know if it'll stay on with him sweating right there, putting that mask on.
Adrian Beltre will lead off for Texas. Nice.
Bless you.
So much for that cough button. There's a play by Ramirez behind the bag. Oh boy, one down.
Second baseman, number 12,
Woo! Rougned Odor. Strike is called.
This Texas team, they have played the fewest home games in the league. They played 59 home games. And they have the best record at home in the American League. They only trail the Cubbies. They're 39-20 at home, so they've got quite a bunch to make up the rest of the year. 22 of the final 35 will be right here.
It seems like we've been waiting for the Indians to catch up to the pack for a long time. We've still played the fewest number of games in the American League.
Yeah, one more. It'll be today. No, wait. What's today? Thursday? Yeah, we only have 2 more off days, so we'll catch up eventually.
Despite the fact that they've played the fewest number of games, they have the 3rd most assists defensively. Swung on and missed. Odor went fishing. Second strikeout for Tomlin. 2 gone here in the 2nd inning.
Let's make this Circle K strikeout for Tomlin. Look at, you were talking movement. There you go, Andre. That thing's moving all over the place right now. That's a pitch that ran away, and he was able to get Odor to swing at it, and it was out of the strike zone when it got there.
Here is Jonathan Lucroy. And takes a fastball for a strike. Fastball with movement. That's the key for Josh Tomlin. And a line drive single to center. First hit of the game for Texas.
Well, elevated pitch again. Looked like the cutter to me. They wanted it down, and yeah, that stayed upstairs. And that was a cutter. That gets hit. That's the pitch he's got to be careful with, because that's a pitch that leaves the park and has been recently for Josh. Is that cutter when it doesn't cut and it stays that high in the zone.
Indians go into a big shift for Mitch Moreland, left-handed pull hitter. There are 2 down in the inning. Moreland is the last of 6 consecutive hitters in this Texas lineup who have hit at least 20 home runs. I don't know if you call that embarrassment of riches, because the Rangers overall, they're just 6th in the American League in home runs. But boy, it just seems like to have that many guys.
Well, this ballpark, Matt, as you know, the ball jumps here. This is, you know, guys, right-handers take it out to right field. It goes. I want to look at something here.
Now I'm assuming, though, Arch, those stats, granted they've had some guys that they've lost to the DL, but those stats as a team don't include the home runs that Beltran and Lucroy hit for their previous teams.
Right. You know, the amazing thing, Texas on the year, they've hit 71 homers here, 93 on the road. I thought it would be reversed.
Yeah,
I really did. That's what I wanted to look and check up.
Especially in this, the year of the home run in baseball.
This ball usually really carries. I know the infield is quick. It's like playing on a turf field.
One ball, 2 strikes, the count on Mitch Moreland. Missed inside. 2-2.
It's all right. Go inside, something hard in off the plate. Let them know you're not afraid to come in there. Josh is a guy, when he's on his game, he pitches inside better than anybody they have on the staff.
Moreland has been in a good groove offensively. Almost half of his last 33 hits have gone for extra bases, 15 of them, 10 homers, 5 doubles. Down on the dirt. Lucroy will try to move up. The throw is too tall, and he will hold at second base.
A wild pitch. He might have had a chance if he would have been able to make a good throw, but Lucroy takes off, and you know, when you're in a hurry, what do? You rush things, and he almost tripped. But he gets in there safely as Perez threw the ball over the head of Lindor.
Oh, remember, Tomlin had Moreland buried in the count. You got Carlos Gomez, right-handed hitter, on deck. First base open now. 3-2 pitch, low, ball 4.
Yeah, they were going to either make a perfect pitch and see if they could get Moreland to swing at it, or take their chances now with Gomez. And I think that's what they were discussing when Perez went to the mound. This is a guy that was released by Houston, and Texas picked him up. He spent the last 3 days down in their minor league affiliate. They deemed him ready to go, and he's going to be in there and playing left field every day for him, I would believe.
I mean, how do you like that? You go from, in a span of 3 days, being released to now you're a starter on a first-place ball club.
It's amazing. Timing is everything.
Down low, ball 1. Gomez said, look, I can't blame the Astros for what they did. I didn't do my job and they released me. I have to take it like a man, but he feels like this is a fresh start for him, and he's got 5 weeks to see what he can do to help the Rangers now. And he might have just helped them a whole bunch. One swing of the bat, 3-0 Texas. And the bugaboo home run ball continues to bite Josh Tomlin.
Well, this is the pitch I was telling you about that has been troublesome for Tomlin. It's the cutter, because it ends up, if it doesn't reach the outside edge and it stays right there, it gets hit far, because it's like a batting practice fastball with these guys, 86 miles an hour. So Gomez, who, what a way to start, man. Your first at bat, you hit a 3-run homer with your new ball club. And that's the thing that Josh has been doing, giving up home runs, but with men on base.
Well, there were 2 outs and nobody on base when this all started. Elvis Andrus. 2-0.
That is the 33rd home run given up by Josh.
Three and 0. Walked him on 4 straight. So 4 straight have reached after the first 2 were retired in the inning, and now Mickey Callaway is going to make his way out to the center of the diamond. Here's the injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. Prince Fielder has since retired. Shin-Soo Choo has a fracture in that forearm. Bunch of pitching injuries.
Well, 49 players have played for the Rangers this year. Quite a bit. They have had their share of DLs, no question about it.
But they have gone out and bolstered this team time and time again. Nomar Mazar back to the top of the order.
Yeah, this inning was harmless. Started out first 2 easy outs, and then you get a base hit. He walked Moreland. Gomez got the cutter, hit it out.
After he had Moreland down 0-2.
Yeah.
In the air. It's a long run. And Geyer can't hold on. A foul ball.
Long way. That wind, there's wind coming in here, and there's always wind in this building. It seems like it just died, and the parachute came out. Look how far he had to go to make that play, and I don't know if he tripped, if he stubbed his toe on the line right there. You see where his cleat got stuck, and it made that catch a lot tougher because it changed his eye level.
It got his glove in an awkward position.
You know, but yeah, his stride was stopped because his back cleat caught on it, and that changed his whole eye level of that play.
Wow, what was wrong with that? Holding the ball. That's right down the heart of the plate.
Well,
again.
we saw that a couple of times in Oakland where there were pitches right there for both teams that were thrown right down the middle and called balls. I don't know how, but they were. But recently, in the month of August, it's been the big inning for other ball clubs that have been able to put it on the Indians, where they're having to either play from catch-up or it brings them right back into a ball game.
Two and one.
I mean, there should be no problem here. And Tomlin's waiting for this sign, but as long as he's taking to get it.
Fouls one back, 2-2.
I was thinking he would be on the same page with him, but he threw to first. So there really should be no reason to put down another sign. They had what he wanted to throw prior to going to first.
Runner goes, huge jump and no chance to get him. It'll be a steal for Elvis Andrus.
Yeah, he had it timed perfectly. I mean, you watch, he's going to take off. He got the curveball, he picked the right pitch, and he didn't catch it anyway. So no throw. 18th stolen base for Andrus.
Swung on and missed. Got him to chase one in the dirt, strikes him out, ends the inning. But Carlos Gomez in his first swing as a Texas Ranger makes it 3-0 for the hometown team. Stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. We go to the third inning, and the Indians find themselves in the hole once again. 3-0 is the score. Lonnie Chisenhall, Roberto Perez, and Rajay Davis to bat for Cleveland.
Now you come into this series against the Rangers, and you come into this ballpark, and you figure you got to score to beat them. You know, you're thinking 5 runs. I'm thinking to come in here and do a job and win a ball game from them.
Lonnie swung at a ball and missed. It's 0-1. Hamels puts him in the hole 0-2. And that means Hamels has thrown 22 pitches, and 17 of those have been strikes. Retired him on 3 pitches, 1 away. This is our great clip of the game from yesterday. The only run scored by the Tribe came on a home run that was originally called a home run, and then Bob Melvin came out and challenged it, and it was upheld.
That was the first home run for Perez on the year.
Checks his swing and fouls it off to the right. Must be an odd sort of situation right now for Roberto Perez to come up to the plate and look at Jonathan Lucroy. And because of the very public nature of that trade deadline scenario, knowing full well that the Indians had agreed to a deal to get Lucroy, which would have meant he would have been taking your job, and now here you are playing against him.
Well, that's the way baseball works. Lucroy had a no trade clause in his contract, at least to Cleveland, who I think it was 6 or 8 teams. And even though the deal they thought was finalized, he has the final say. Back-to-back strikeouts now for Hamels. Gets him with the breaking ball. Looks like a slider. And it was a check swing, but it was a strike anyway.
First time through the order, the Indians are 1 for 9 against Cole Hamels. 2 down. Here's Rajai Davis, and he looks at a ball low. Right at the shortstop, Andrus. And the Indians go 1-2-3. And Desmond will lead off for Texas. Rangers up 3-0. And a first pitch strike.
Well, right now, Josh Tomlin, you have to keep it here. You have to keep it a 3-0 ball game. Try and get your offense back in as quickly as possible to try and get to Cole Hamels. What a deal this guy was to sign before the year started. Change positions. Nice pitch.
Desmond out looking. 4th strikeout for Tomlin. Here are the hear right sounds of the game from Brian Shaw following that series in Oakland.
We try to come to the ballpark obviously every day, fired up, regardless of who we play. But, I think like what happened when we played Toronto, obviously the atmosphere was it just felt a little bit different, for the fans, the players. You try to not make it that way, but sometimes that just happens. So I think coming here, obviously the crowds that they get, I think it's going to be similar atmosphere.
Not much of a crowd here for the series opener, but we expect bigger attendance for the weekend. Pitch inside, ball 1 to Carlos Beltran, who popped up on the infield his first time up. Weekly tapped. Ramirez unloads, and Beltran still gets down the line well. And it was a close play, but he's out by a whisker. 2 down. Back down to Andre.
Well, Jason Kipnis wasn't happy about how the team played in Oakland, but he kind of had the same sentiment that you just heard from Brian Shaw. He said, you know, it was such a big series back at home. They got into it with Toronto. They liked how they played, and they had that long flight. He was disgusted with how he played the last 2 days in Oakland and says he's got to find a way to motivate yourself when he says, hopefully coming into this ballpark, playing this team, knowing the circumstances, they'll get back to being who they were prior to that series versus the Oakland Athletics.
So true. You have to motivate yourself sometimes. You can't rely on the crowd all the time. Expect, you know, that they're going to pump you up. You have to, sometimes it's tough. You dig down, you have to search for yourself, get out there and play. Because those are the teams when you get into August and September where we're at right now, where if you don't have the emotion out there, they'll go out and beat you in a heartbeat. It doesn't matter what team you're playing.
Nice stop by Ramirez. And he just took away a hit from Adrian Beltre with a piece of tremendous defense at the hot corner. Watch him go into the hole, snare it, and the Rangers go 1-2-3. Jason Kipnis, Francisco Lindor, and Mike Napoli due up. Kipnis grounded out in the first. Two balls and no strikes. Kipnis shoots it foul up the right side. 2-1.
You can see the way Cole Hamels uses that fastball inside out, moves it, never staying in the same zone twice.
Popped him up, but that's out of play. And the 2-2.
close.
Oh, man, they ring him up. John Tumpane. Kipnis did not think that he went.
Well, you look at it from that angle, we couldn't tell, but from the side angle, you can usually see it, but they called it. They said he swung.
Up comes Francisco Lindor.
There's the look I was looking for. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Doesn't look like it, but he got it out front.
Down low. 1-1. Lindor, the Indians' only hit. 8 straight set down by Cole Hamels since the 2-out base hit by Lindor in the first. And right at the shortstop. Second time tonight an Indian hitter has hit a line drive right at Elvis Andrus.
Yeah, Ramirez was the other guy. Well, you can get priority access to 2016 postseason tickets by purchasing 2017 Indian season tickets. And if you become a 2017 Tribe season ticket holder, you'll get priority access to tickets for any postseason game played at Progressive Field, plus opening day, team shop discounts, access to Tribe rewards, and more.
Mike Napoli, big swing and a miss. Two quick strikes. And Hamels with a slow off-speed pitch that just missed inside.
He throws that cutter into you, to the right-handers too, in off the plate. So he tried to slow that one down. But you watch, he's ahead in the count, and he's going to continue to try and make you swing at his pitch that's out of it.
Hamels just said do-over. Now the 2-2. Chased another ball in the dirt, and that's 5 Ks for Hamels, as he has really settled into a role, retiring 10 in a row. We move to the bottom of the fourth, and the part of the Rangers lineup that did the damage to Josh Tomlin is due up here after Rougned Odor. It'll be then Lucroy and Moreland. Anybody reaches Gomez, who hit the 3-run homer. Odor struck out in the second inning, and when he did, there were 2 outs, nobody on base. But then a single, a walk, and a 3-run blast. And that's a foul ball down into the right field corner.
Odor was running down the line, and he was veering out. He's into the middle of the infield looking and hoping it stayed fair. He had to be, I would say, 7 to 8 feet inside the line. You'll see it misses by, about a foot or so.
Had that ball been fair, he would have had to really weave his way back around the bag.
He sure would have.
Rougned Odor solidified his status as one of the best punching infielders in baseball earlier this year when he decked Jose Bautista of the Blue Jays. Missed inside.
Yeah, there was a lot to do about that, wasn't there?
Yeah, he
didn't. The restaurant, they said he could come in there and eat for life.
I think they had to back off on that.
But originally it did come out.
Yeah.
Watch him run on the inside part. He's going. Stay fair. If that ball was fair, he would have had to U-turn it.
The 2-2. First time up, Tomlin was able to get Odor to chase a pitch well off the plate. Almost like he had Odor looking in. Threw a pitch that was too close to take. He tried to reach out and just foul it off, but he couldn't do it.
And had great movement on it. I don't know if that was a changeup or a two-seamer.
And the 2-2 struck him out. Elevated that fastball, might have had a little cut to it, but it was just above the hitting area. And that gives Tomlin now 5 strikeouts on the night.
Yeah, he's upstairs with it. It's a ball. It's letter high, and he wanted to get after it. It's not going to catch up to it up there. Swings through it. He goes down for the second time tonight. This is exactly how the second inning went. At least started off. Except they had 2 outs.
Now the Texas catcher who takes a strike. He singled. Moved to second on a wild pitch, but more importantly came around on the home run by Gomez.
Good pitch.
2 quick strikes. Jammed him, popped him up.
Well, that's a clinic right there in that at bat.
2 down.
First baseman, Mitch Moreland.
Got a first strike, went away with it, and then pounds him inside. Came down inside on the trademark. That ball didn't even leave the infield. Stayed with all fastballs. Good job of pitching him in that at bat for Josh.
The batter will be Mitch Moreland, who Tomlin had down 0-2 in that second inning. Ended up walking him. Good pitch. Really good changeup. Just you can see Moreland trying to stay back and get a piece of it, to no avail. Another good changeup.
That's what he's done. When you miss in, he comes back and changes speeds. Both times it's when he's been in a hitter's count. He pulls the string both times and gets a swing, and he's trying to pull everything off.
Tried to paint the fastball, and it's just off the plate. And here we go again, a 3-2 count. This time he pops it in the air to left, over toward the line is Geyer. And the side is retired, and Josh Tomlin has now set down 7 straight. Brought to you by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. By your Northern Ohio Honda dealers. And by the Cleveland Clinic. Access anytime, anywhere. The Texas Rangers out to a 3-0 lead early, and since that 3-run homer by Carlos Gomez, pitching has dominated this ball game on both sides. Cole Hamels has retired 10 in a row. He's given up just 1 hit. That came on a 2-out single by Lindor in the first. Carlos Santana to lead off the 5th and takes a strike. Grounded out his only time on.
You know, how about that? Second time going through the lineup. Now he breaks out a nice big slow curveball for strike 1.
Out of play. And a foul right back. Santana able to lay off. And the count evens at 2-2.
You know, going through this game to this point, I was looking out, and their defense has pretty much stayed straight up for everybody throughout the course of this game, where normally you see shifts.
Adrian Beltre whips it across to retire Santana, 1 down. T-Mobile greater coverage of baseball. Kyle Hendricks with 6 innings and 8 strikeouts in the Cubs' 6-3 win over the Padres. He leads the National League with a 2.19 ERA. And how about the Cubs' starting rotation in the month of August?
Wow. That's a lot how the Indians were when they went through their 14-game winning streak.
Well, that's why the Cubs have just run away now with the NL Central. Jose Ramirez hit a line drive to short his first time up. This Texas defense at times has been a little shaky. They've committed the 3rd most errors in the American League at 78. But they've sort of made up for that by turning the most double plays in the AL.
Well, we've talked about this field before. With the sun baking the dirt, this is a hard field. I mean, the ball scoots through it. It acts like it's AstroTurf, and it's not an easy one to play on and defend. And you get a lot of base runners. That doesn't surprise me that they've turned the most double plays.
In the air to center. Nice job by Odor to get back there to make the grab. And there are 2 away.
Watch Cole Hamels how he moves the ball in and out, changes speeds to hitters. There's that little cutter down that you get a check swing, and he just worked over Lonnie Chisenhall. He also has the slider, and he can break out that curveball for his pitch as well. So he is mixed, and when he gets ahead of you, and he's been ahead of a lot of these Indians hitters, he doesn't throw strikes.
Hamels trying to retire the side in order for the 4th straight inning. Up the middle, what a stop by Odor. Gets up and throws. Got him. 13 in a row retired by the lefty Cole Hamels. This one a special play by Rougned Odor. As we move on now to the bottom half of the 5th inning, it will be Carlos Gomez to lead it off. He had a 3-run homer in his first at bat as a Ranger. And that's the only runs of the ball game. This time he tries to bunt, and Tomlin says, no, sir. There it is, our in-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 1 swing, 3 points. That's been it.
And it's amazing that 1 swing can change the complexion of a game. It was 1 inning yesterday for the Indians. You know, it was a 5-run inning, and they could not recover. They certainly can recover from a 3-run inning early in the ball game. But right now, the way Cole Hamels is pitching, you have to keep it a 3-run ball game.
Elvis Andrus, he walked, stole a base, but was stranded at second in the 2nd inning. And a strike call with a fastball on the inside corner. Out of play. Back out of play. Up the gut, and that will be a base hit. Snaps a string of 8 in a row, retired by Tomlin. 1 on, 1 out. We go to the top of the order, but before that, let's go back to the studios for an in-game update with Al Pawlowski. Thanks, Al. Top of the order, Nomar Mazara. He has struck out twice tonight against Josh Tomlin.
Yeah, both times on the curveball. After Josh has been able to get ahead of him to 2 strikes.
Tied him up, and it's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tomlin deals, and it's inside. 2-1. Tomlin had one rough patch in this game in the 2nd inning. And that's been the only scoring we've had. And the Rangers haven't had a base runner since then until the 1-out base hit by Andrews here in the 5th. Right back up the middle, and it's through. And on his way to 3rd goes Andrus. No throw. Rangers at the corners with only 1 out. Boy, initially you thought the way that ball was weakly tapped, it might be a double play. But no real shift on, and it was perfectly placed right through the middle.
Well, you can see they're both hugging up the middle, both Kipnis and Lindor, but it just goes right over Josh Tomlin and into center field. Andrus able to get to 3rd base. It's 1st and 3rd now with 1 out. They're threatening to score, and they could use a double play ball.
Five ground ball outs so far in the game for Tomlin.
You would take the first one that Desmond hit back in the 1st inning, hit very sharply right at Lindor.
Is deep enough to right, and maybe deep in a lot of trouble. It's off. Chisholm can't make the catch. Scoring is Andrus. Mazar to 3rd. 4-0 Texas. Lonnie got leather on it, could not hold on, and now Texas has once again seized the momentum of this game and extended their lead.
Well, you can see he was staying inside the baseball. He was trying to go to right field. And that's a ball right there. It's over your head. You should catch. You get leather on it. It's not an easy play, but he was playing a little shallow, and they get it over his head. It'll go as a base hit. It'll be an RBI for Desmond. It's now a 4-0 game. Now meeting in the line on the mound, and we still have runners at 1st and 3rd.
Bullpen busy for Cleveland. It looks like Dan Otero is getting loose.
Send along some birthday wishes here. We have an opportunity. Jack Zay is turning 93. Happy birthday. And Jamie Biddle, 83 from Mexico, Ohio. Happy birthday to you. I never knew there was a Mexico, Ohio, to be honest with you.
Me either. There's a Lorain, Ohio, and that's where Don Abrahamowitz is celebrating his 70th birthday tonight. Happy birthday, Don. Mexico, Ohio. Wow.
Yeah, never heard of it. Watch the ball in the webbing, and it was in the glove, but as he tries to bring it and turn it around, it falls out.
Tied him up. Good pitch. Wow. Mexico, Ohio is not all that far from Cleveland. It is south of Tiffin, north of Upper Sandusky.
There you go. Look
that
out.
Goes flying just over the top of the dugout.
Nice. How about the netting right there? Saved him.
Almost cold cocked the cameraman, though.
Well, it was over his head, but that netting right there saved those folks. watch, it just takes off. But on the rebound, thank goodness our cameraman's all right down there and everything's good. And everybody else is too.
First and third, one out, 1-2 count on Carlos Beltran. Throw to first. Three straight hits in the inning. That's kind of the pattern of this game. Tomlin's either been lights out or they've turned his lights out. And the 2-2. Chopped foul. Backhanded by Napoli. The second, it's too high and into left field. Another run is in. On his way to third goes Desmond. There's really no time, no good time for an error, but that was a really bad spot to commit.
Well, you get out of the inning, and it would have been a double play ball, I think, but watch his footwork. And he hasn't been out there in the last 3 or 4 days, and he gets underneath it, and I don't know if that it was not there. It was way over the head. You know, a bad time right there, and that opens up the inning for even more drama. And that's one thing that's caved in the last few games too, is the Indians' defense.
Well, Texas leading it now 5-0. And Adrian Beltre 0 for 2 on the night to the plate. Back out of play. And a strike to the corner, 0-2 the count. In football, they talk about 3 phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. In baseball, it's pitching, defense, and hitting. And it seems as though all 3 have gone south at the same time for Cleveland. The 1-2. Hammered. Deep left center. That is gone. 8-0 Texas, as Adrian Beltre's 3-run blast makes it a 5-run fifth.
Second 3-run homer of the game. They wanted to throw a ball by him upstairs, but you know what? This guy's too good. He's been around too long. He drills this one into left center field and really makes that error hurt. From a double play ball to get out of the inning, keep it a 4-0 game. It now doubles. It jumps to an 8-0 game and a 5-run inning.
Josh Tomlin goes just 4 1/3 innings here tonight, as he will leave charged with 8 runs. And the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made for Dan Otero. We'll be right back. Tomlin, as Dan Otero comes on, and it's already 8-0 in favor of Texas.
Yeah, earlier in the year when Josh was giving up home runs, it seemed like most of them, if not almost all of them, were solo shots. But recently, in the month of August, it seems like there have been a lot of runners aboard. I know he's given up a grand slam and I think 3 3-run homers, and those take you out of games or make big innings tough to come back from. That's fair. That was a fair ball.
It is
He
a fair
booted
ball
down.
and another error.
Wow. Normally, a guy that's been very solid for the Indians this year defensively has made his second error in the inning. And now everything's just starting to fall apart.
I don't know if that's a case where Mike was trying to maybe rush the play to keep it fair.
Probably was. You know, to catch it and step on the base before he gets down there. That's certainly a ball he should catch.
Now the Rangers catcher.
You could see that ball was fair. Hit off the thumb of the glove. He thought it was going to go in. He thought he had it. Did not catch it. And there goes the runner past him.
Mike Clevenger now getting loose. Little jam job to short. Lindor to second for one. Kipnis is taken out on the play. Still turns 2. So the inning is over, but the Rangers blow it open with 5.
Access to Tribe Rewards, and today's Tribe Rewards TV code is Sandy. Visit Indians.com season tickets for complete details.
Lonnie Chisenhall to lead off here in the 6th inning for the Tribe. Now down 8. And he looks at a ball down and in. Cole Hamels has picked up where the Oakland pitching staff left off. He has retired 13 in a row. The only Indian to reach was Francisco Lindor with a 2-out single in the first.
Well, he's coming off a start too against Tampa, where he went 7 1/3. He gave up only 3 hits in the 1 run in 104 pitches. So he has been in command. But the Indians too, their offense, they have not scored a run in the first 5 innings in their last 5 games.
Broke his bat. 1 away. The district ticket is back. Costs $13. And first drink's on us. So grab your friends, head on out to the corner. The new drink rails and left. You can only get it online at Indians.com/district tickets. Up to bat now is Roberto Perez. And a strike call. Out of play.
Change up.
Got a piece of it to stay alive.
It was a pretty good pitch there. That change up done in a way that Perez was able to get a piece of. If you can get a piece of that, see if he goes to the cutter in to try and get him to swing over it and move it inside. Nope, staying away. Cutter. And a dandy.
And another one bites the dust. 6 strikeouts for Cole Hamels. 15 in a row.
This is the cut fastball away. It's just going to come in at the last moment. You see it catch the corner. Great pitch. Great pitch after that changeup away. You see it off the plate. So as a hitter, you're thinking there's no way. That ball's going to go down and away. I won't have to swing at it. It comes in on the corner. One hit, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. And he's into the 6th inning now. Got him caught in between.
Rajay Davis struck out in the first. He grounded out in the third. "16 in a row for Cole Hamels. The Rangers left-hander has struck out 7 through 6 one-hit shutout innings. Up 8-0. And the drive goes back to the bullpen. Mike Clevenger will come on now, try to eat up some innings. And defensively, Abraham Almonte has come on in right field, replacing Lonnie Chisenhall. Bottom third of the order due up for Texas: Mitch Moreland, Carlos Gomez, and Elvis Andrus. Moreland swings at the first pitch, pops it out of play. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Good changeup by Clevenger. Mitch Moreland saying, man, the first guy threw me changeups, now the next guy's throwing me changeups.
Yeah, they're good pitches, changeups.
And he swung and missed. Got a ball sinking, tailing down and away.
Left fielder, Carlos.
One gone here in the
Changeup
sixth.
as well, wasn't it?
I think it was.
Yeah, you got to take the speed off and look at the movement on it. Absolutely. That's got to be a changeup to move like that.
Swinging a foul back by Carlos Gomez. He blasted a 3-run homer in the second. And it stayed that way until another big 3-run homer in the fifth blew it open for the Rangers. Play. Well, Terry Francona joked as the Indians left Oakland yesterday that he was hoping it was just 3 days of amnesia that plagued the Indians and their inability to score. Say what you want about Josh Tomlin's problems tonight, but again, the Indians have been held to 1 hit. Now, Cole Hamels, he can do that to you. He's one of the game's top pitchers when he's on, and he's been on tonight. But you're looking potentially now at 4 straight games where the offense has just been completely shuttered.
Well, their last 4 games, they've scored 6 runs, but they're 2-2. So they're very fortunate to be in that boat. But
Yep.
I know what you're saying. I mean, when your offense isn't scoring the pitch, it has to pick it back up. And this team is built on pitching. And the starters in the month of August have struggled. Their ERA is right around 6. And Tomlin has been 10. He has 3 out of his last 5 starts given up at least 7 runs in a start. And you can't do that at this time of year. Anytime for that matter.
Yeah, I mean, you start digging yourself that big of a hole, early innings, middle innings, it's tough to overcome. No question about it.
And it's been on the long ball from Tomlin. I mean, some crooked numbers. He's given up a lot of home runs with guys on base recently.
Struck him out looking. Good pitch by Clevenger. Painted the outside corner, and he's punched out back-to-back hitters here in the 6th. And Rick, that's the thing that's hard to figure out with Josh Tomlin. Early in the year, he gave up home runs, but they were solo shots. He wasn't giving up the big inning. What do you think has changed? Is it his inability to just be as precise with the command?
Yeah, I think so. And when you see it go the second or third time through the lineup, he hasn't made his pitches like he had to earlier. And Andre said the movement on your pitches and things like that, when you start to struggle a little bit, you try sometimes a little harder. The ball may not do what it wants, but he cannot afford to miss on the plate. And that cutter has been the pitch for me that has been getting pounded all over the ballpark. His curveball has been pretty good. It seems like at times, you know, his two-seam fastball he's gotten away from. So, you know, it has been the long ball that has put him behind the 8 ball. You know, in August for Josh, 3 solos, 2 2-runners, 3 3-runners, and a grand slam.
Wow, good pitching by Clevenger. Punched him out, side retired. He strikes out all 3, and we go to the 7th. 8-0 Texas. Baseball is brought to you by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud partner of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. By Ford, built Ford tough. And by Firelands Regional Medical Center. Now it's 8-0 Texas. You get a look at the concourse here at the ballpark, which will be, well, potentially, I guess it's not a done deal yet, but potentially this ballpark could be on numbered days.
As everyone's hoping around here. We'll find out when they vote on it in November.
New ballpark has been proposed. It's planned basically right outside of the area where this one's built, but they're going to build it with a roof, a retractable dome.
No rain delays anymore. They're going to love that. And when it's 105 outside, it'll be 72 inside.
Jason Kipnis with a liner to center right at Desmond. One away.
Well, you can grab a Carlos Baerga jersey. That'll be courtesy of First Energy. That'll take place Saturday, September 3rd. Miami will be in town for that weekend, and 12,500 fans get a jersey. And you can enjoy a pregame block party and postgame fireworks show. To follow the ball game, go to Indians.com for your tickets.
Francisco Lindor has the Indians' only hit tonight. It came with 2 outs in the first inning. And Hamels at the knees for a strike. You know, I mentioned this when we were talking earlier tonight with Alan Jensen on Indians Live, that the Indians are going through a tough stretch right now. They played 500 in July. They played 500 so far in the month of August. Obviously a disappointing series in Oakland where they only scored 3 runs in 3 games. And yet this team has had that ability to sort of keep their losing streaks, their bad spells, to a minimum, a bare minimum. Their longest skid this year is 3 games.
Right.
And I went back and looked today just quickly. You know, that great Mariners team in 01 that won 116 games, they had at least a 4-game streak. The Yankees team a couple years before that had 114 wins. They had at least a 4-game streak and lost 6 out of 8 at one point.
Right.
The 1990 Nasty Boys that went wire to wire. I don't think any team in the NL West had ever gone wire to wire in a season. Won the World Series, swept the A's. They lost 8 straight at one point during that season. So every team goes through it. It's just this team has been particularly good at minimizing those tough stretches. But you have to wonder right now at where they're at if they can continue to do it. Because you're getting to that point late in the season where, you know, whether guys are getting tired, whether they're getting nicked up, dinged up, and they continue.
Well, you certainly would hope so, and I would think they will, because everybody's dinged up at this time of year. It's just not one team. They're all in the same boat, and they still have not lost 4 straight. With a loss tonight, it'll be 3 straight. And they've done that, I think, 4 other times before, so this would be the 5th time. So tomorrow would be the game where you got to come out and you don't want to have that 4th in a row. You want to continue that streak. And that's pretty impressive when you think about it. You know, they've had 2 turns through the rotation that has been really bad. And that was coming, you know, before the All-Star break and right out from the break. But boy, this team is built on pitching. And if the starting pitching don't turn it around and they fall behind early, there's not a whole lot you're going to be able to do offensively with playing catch-up, because this is the team that plays much better in front.
Out of play. Yeah.
You know, they go out and they get the best reliever in baseball, and you get them for a reason. And you have to have leads to turn the game over to them.
The Indians are 50-16 when they score first, and that 50th win came in the series opener against Oakland. They scored first, but it didn't come until the 8th inning of that game.
Right. I'm thinking, think of the key hits we've had in the last week to 10 days. it's not like you've been blowing teams out.
Right.
3-2. You had to come back from behind at home for a couple walk-off wins in the 11-game homestand, even though they were 8-3. The offense has been down on a lull. They're going to have to. The pitcher's got to shut them down and let them take the lead first. Is what's going to have to happen. Get back to the basics for this ball club. You know, when things start going wrong, then you start doubt starts creeping into minds, and that's the worst thing that can happen in sports is doubt. Especially as a hitter, as a pitcher, you've got to eliminate it.
That's where, you go back to Terry Francona's first year. A lot of people forget that 2013 club. They got hot right at the very end of the season to make their run into the playoffs.
Yeah, they had 21 wins in September.
But Terry Francona was instrumental in keeping them mentally positive throughout that stretch in August where they didn't play all that well, where that doubt started to creep in, especially to some of those younger players who had seen this, oh, here we go again. But he was very instrumental in saying, hey, guys, we're all right. Our best baseball's ahead of us. Keep plowing ahead.
Well, we know there's no panic in that guy, so he's not going to project anything in that dugout or clubhouse. That is for sure. It's up to the players. Players have to do it on their own. You can tell them what to do. You can tell them how to do it. They have to execute. They have to go out between the lines. They have to win the baseball games. They get the credit when you win, and they're going to get the blame when they lose.
Napoli takes low, full count.
That's what makes this game so great and a lot of fun to play. It's not an easy game to play.
It tests you big time.
Daily. Every single day is a test.
And the payoff pitch. Napoli with a fly ball to right. And Mazzara makes the catch, and Cole Hamels marches on. A one-hit shutout through 7. Texas. Chris Jimenez has come on at first base now for Mike Napoli. Michael Martinez goes to second for Jason Kipnis. And that appears to be it defensively. Mike Clevenger struck out the side in the 6th. Nomar Mazara 1 for 3 on the night. Up and away, 3-1.
A lot of changeups tonight from Clevenger.
And that one took off on a ball 4. Our series continues tomorrow night here in Arlington as the Indians take on the Rangers. We'll try to even the series up. It'll be Corey Kluber against Martin Perez, the left-hander, going for Texas. Kluber 13-8 on the year with a 3.13 ERA, and he has been on quite a roll here of late.
Yes, he has. He's been outstanding his last 7 or 8 starts.
Have it for you again tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern time, right here on Sports Time Ohio. I was talking to Corey before the game briefly. Saw a story in the local paper tonight about the average, now get this, the average pay for high school football coaches in Fort Worth, Texas, $100 grand a year. I was floored by that. Corey looked at me and said, yeah, that's probably on the low end. I mean, it's just like, wow, these guys.
You want to go coach football here? You want to stay here?
I think so. I just was stunned. And he said, and a lot of them, they don't teach. That's all they do is coach football. There's a broken bat fly ball center field, and a nice running catch by Rajay Davis. Fires back to first. It's just a bit offline. 1 away. I mean, I know they take their high school football seriously.
Yeah, they really do.
In the state of Texas, but holy smokes.
There's Davis coming in to throw on the dead run, a little offline, so they weren't going to double him up. They do get the first out. Well, if they don't teach, you make more than 100 if you start winning. You got to win. No, that's
and you don't last long if you don't win, probably.
I'm sure you're long gone. They turn them over quickly.
The for sale sign will be in your front yard if you lose the opener. Two gone here in the 7th as Adrian Beltre steps to the plate.
This guy is really, to me, the heart and soul of this ball club. He's been around a long time. He enjoys playing the game without a doubt. And this is just my opinion. A Hall of Famer when he retires. And he serves his time and has to wait his 5 years. He will certainly be going there as a third baseman. Not many better than this guy. He has 4 of the last 7 game-winning RBIs by a Ranger since August 10th. So he's been the one guy that's been able to step up for him when needed.
He really has been that kind of steady, consistent performer year in, year out.
And plays every day, plays through pain. He's something special. He really is. Not many guys like him. And I mean, you know, they wanted to throw that high fastball, but man, this is one guy, he can hit anything. A line drive, it gets out of here into the Indians bullpen, and I'll tell you, those guys in that dugout, he's the big papa. He's the head jefe, no doubt.
Here's a fly ball, right field. Almonte will make the catch. 7 in the books. Unfortunately for the Indians tonight, it's been all Texas. Presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. It is an 8-0 Texas lead as we roll to the 8th inning. And Carlos Santana will lead it off for the Indians. Cole Hamels has simply dominated the Tribe tonight. He has retired 19 in a row. And I think, Rick, if I remember right, I probably don't, but he went to 3-2 on Napoli. I'm not sure he's had many counts where he's even gotten to 3 balls tonight.
He's at 86 pitches right now. He has been fluid, he's been smooth, and he's been pounding that zone down.
Yeah.
If you want to watch a tape of a guy how to pitch, check this one out tonight with Hamels, because it's the opposite of the way Indians pitchers have been pitching. Everything is down in the zone. The only time he throws it up is when he wants to elevate it.
You watch the catcher's target, and if Hamels misses, he's missing lower than the target.
Exactly. You know, he's a big guy, but when you watch him, he's been in rhythm tonight. He's been very smooth. He pitches in for effect, and he commands the outer part of the plate. And then when he gets ahead of you, he makes you swing at his pitch.
Well, you watch him work on a night like this, where he's obviously at his best, very best, and he makes it look so easy. Because it's almost, his delivery's almost effortless. You don't hear him grunt or like he's reaching back trying to throw it through the backstop. It's
that's
just
like in anybody that at this level, when they're on their game and they're throwing it, that's what makes great players great. They make it look so easy.
I'm not comparing him to Tom Glavine, but I remember Tom Glavine just painting like this, in, out, change speeds all night long, and it almost looked like he didn't break a sweat. That's what Hamels is looking like here tonight. And Santana finally barrels one up for the Tribe, and he has a leadoff single. Just a second hit for Cleveland here tonight.
Third baseman Jose Ramirez.
Well, they hit a couple balls hard tonight. It must have been the cutter that he's thrown away to the shortstop.
Yeah.
You know, where Andrus has had to make a couple of good plays on one hoppers. This one happens to get by him. It was to his left, and Santana gets it. Just the second hit for the Indians.
Both Ramirez and Lindor hitting line drives at Andrus, the shortstop, earlier in the game.
You know, you got to like it as an umpire too. You're sitting back there, and like it's like you're sitting in a little lounge chair. He's hitting his target. He's not missing. He's not bouncing balls all over the place.
Then he throws a fastball, and it's almost like it fools you because you're, oh man. You know.
Keep the hitters off balance is exactly what he has done tonight. We've seen some check swings, times they couldn't pull it when they wanted to, and that got in and it may fall.
Jam job? No. Hangs up, and that's out number one. We talked about this before. When a pitcher's on his game, when he's locating all of his pitches, it's going to be a long night for the hitters, especially for a guy with the quality of stuff that Cole Hamels possesses. As you take a look at some of his work tonight on Miller
and we're
time.
talking fastball, changeup, cutter, slider, and it hasn't been a steady dose of anything. He's mixed everything up. He's stayed ahead of the hitters, and he's made it look very easy.
And you might look at that and say, oh, how do they take that ball? It's right down the middle. Well, what happens is he starts getting you to look for other pitches, and then he fools you with the pitch you should be looking for.
He's throwing the pitch that you're not looking for. Absolutely. You're guessing wrong. When you look at his pitch by inning, the largest number, 17. Pitchers average that sometimes for an inning throughout the year for a lot of pitchers. This guy has been very good tonight. What was it, that one game a few years ago we saw Kluber throw, was it an 85 or an 86 pitch complete game?
There's a pass
against
ball
Seattle
as it clanks off the glove of the Rangers catcher. Yeah, those are rare. Those are very rare. Just because hitters are programmed to work the count, take,
foul pitches off
or
and things like that, but it doesn't happen. There's Lucroy was surprised because a pitch was above his mask, and he didn't hold on to it.
Popped him up. Back out of play. Well, it's also why the Rangers, and a lot has been made of the Rangers, their starting pitching a little questionable. They go into the postseason with Cole Hamels and Yu Darvish. I think they're going to be just fine.
Well, that's true, but Darvish hasn't been pitching his way. They like when they get Holland back, and there's a couple of guys out on rehab for him. Colby Lewis, who was undefeated for him for a while this year. He's out on rehab, and they get him back. Then they get their veterans. They get their rotation back in play.
Yeah, but as I do, in a postseason, you're only going to use 3, at most 4 starters, and that's probably even stretching it unless you get into a really big Donnybrook 7-game lengthy series. But, if you've got Hamels and Darvish is on his game, then they've got as good a 1-2 punch as maybe anybody.
I won't disagree with that.
Man, I hear what you're saying. Darvish, he needs some innings. He's got to get kind of back where he...
But, I mean, we have a whole month to go. There's a whole month to go, so there's time to get on it. I know one thing. He's ready to hit. He had a homer last night in Cincinnati. Straight away center field. Yeah, long way to go. What do we have, about 40-ish games
this
right
is
around
game 126 for Cleveland.
Yeah, so we've got 42. No, wait, about 36 by math. Sorry. I had to take my shoe off and use my toes.
It'll be 30, 35, 36, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Indians will head home after this weekend concludes for another 3-team homestand. And then just 2 road trips left.
And this is a big homestand for the Rangers. We talk about it because they have us for 3 more after tonight. They get Seattle for 3, who's chasing them. They get an off day here, and then they get Houston before they go out on the road and go to Seattle for 4. So, yeah, a lot of baseball left for these teams.
Ground ball to short. Andrus throws him out. 2-hit shutout baseball through 8 innings for Cole Hamels.
in the family deck out of Progressive Field. Go to Indians.com to get them.
Zach McAllister now on the pitch for Cleveland. Swung out and missed by Rougned Odor, who was 0 for 3. Struck out twice in the ballgame. Deep right field, gone. Odor with his 24th home run of the season. 3rd home run of the night for the Texas Rangers, who lead it 9-0. So Zach McAllister, the first man he faces, jumps on that fastball and tattoos it.
Yeah, that ball didn't run away like he wanted it to. And it stayed on the plate a little too much. But McAllister gives up the home run on leadoff man. It's 9-0 Texas.
Breaking ball misses up high. McAllister's fastball sailing up and in. Another fastball up and in. Bullseye, 3-1. And he walks it. That'll bring up Mitch Moreland. He walked in the second. He has flied out, struck out since then.
All of a sudden, he's lost the strike zone.
Out goes Roberto Perez.
And arms dropping, everything's taken off on him.
$23,768 the attendance tonight here in Arlington. It's a big ballpark though, so when you've got empty seats, it looks like the crowd is a lot smaller than what it is actually announced as. You know, you think about so many parks over the years have reduced capacity. Cleveland, US Cellular, which is going to be renamed.
Just about everybody.
They've all tried to reduce some of the capacities.
Well, they averaged 33,600 a ball game here, which is 5th best in the league.
2-1.
I don't know what happened to Zach, but all of a sudden now he can't find it. Now 13 pitches and 8 of them have been balls.
The 3-1. There's a fastball right down Broadway for a strike. 3-2. Line drive, base hit, center field. So a homer, a walk, and now a single. Our Pat O'Brien play of the game. Let's go way back to the 2nd inning. There were 2 outs, nobody on base. A single, a walk, and then Carlos Gomez, a 3-run jack. His first swing as a Ranger. Was released by the Houston Astros. Texas signed him, sent him to the minors for a few games to get his swing, and then they activated him, put him in the lineup, and he pays immediate dividends here tonight.
Yeah, they had a 3-run 2nd inning, a 5-run 5th. They've got one here in the 8th and threatening for more.
Fastball misses outside, ball 1. You know, Archie, I was told you before, I was looking around at that losing streak thing, or teams, and I was looking back at that 1990 Cincinnati Reds team, and boy, time kind of slips by you, and you start to forget just how good that bullpen was. I mean, they were a team, talk about ahead of their time for shortening the game. That term wasn't even in existence in 1990,
right.
Shortening the game.
Right.
But that's what Lou Piniella was able to do, because not only do they have a decent starting rotation, but when you're running Charlton, Dibble, and Myers for innings 7, 8, 9, well, then you only need 6 good innings from your starter. And back then, nobody could match that kind of production out of the bullpen. And
as hard as those guys
all
threw. I mean,
gas.
it was probably one of the first of its time. I remember in the Yankees in the 70s when they had bullpens. You know how they shortened the game? They'd pitch 3 innings for a save.
Yeah,
Rich Gossage,
yeah.
or it would be Sparky Lyle.
Sparky Lyle, yeah. High pop. Right fielder Almonte makes the catch, 1 away. And I had forgotten, too, that Norm Charlton was so good, he even made some starts in the 2nd half of that season because they needed help in the rotation.
Yeah.
I mean, he was so good, he could go from dominant late inning guy to, yeah, I can make a few starts for you. And they all had that just wacko mentality back then.
Yes, they did.
And
it fit right with their manager.
Yes. who, by the way, again, you forget because time slips by sometimes, that Lou had spent his entire career in the American League before he took that job.
Yeah, with the Yankees, yeah.
And granted, okay, baseball's baseball on both sides, but, he was going to cities and managing in ballparks that he'd never been to before. And, that was a team that I don't think a lot of people had their eye on going into that season. Certainly they were underdogs in the NLCS. They beat Jim Leyland's Pirates. They had the Cy Young Award winner Doug Drabeck,
People
Barry
said they
Bonds.
had no chance beating the A's.
And then they go up against Oakland. Surely they have no chance against
Right.
Oakland, and they sweep them 4 straight. Yeah, that was...
Well, you go back, what was that, 1990, you
Yeah.
say? I'll bet you half of these baseball players won't even remember half that team.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. Yeah, you figure most of these guys, you know, they were.
It's right around the time they were born.
Yeah. Or, you know, maybe they were young enough to maybe remember people talking about them. But
Right,
they wouldn't.
right.
The 0-1 in the dirt. He went around. And the count of ball and 2 strikes with 2 down in the inning.
Well, you're going to see it. Hard to tell again from that angle. This angle, let's see. Oh, yeah.
That's very similar to what we saw from Kipnis earlier.
Yes, it was. It was the same thing. He went around.
Got him looking. So the inning comes to an end, but the Rangers pile 1 more on the scoreboard and lead it 9-0. In the 9th inning, it will be Tony Barnett who replaces Cole Hamels. Guess I was a little surprised to see Hamels not come back for the 9th.
Well, he could have very easily, I'm sure.
Hamels went 8 innings, 2 hits, shutout baseball, did not walk a batter, struck out 8. Low and away. Roberto Perez 0 for 2 has struck out both times tonight.
And the count now 2-1. Little low. Royals beat the Marlins 5-2. They got a shootout going on the south side of Chicago where the White Sox and Mariners are tied 6-6 in the 7th. Tigers won earlier today. So things are starting to tighten up a little bit here now in the Central Division. Detroit will only be now 5 games behind the Indians in the loss column in the division. Detroit's won 4 in a row. The Royals have won, what, 10 out of 11?
This guy's a slider master out there. That's all he threw in that at-bat were sliders.
Recapping the keys to the game, courtesy of Mazda. Cole Hamels just dominated the Indians lineup tonight. There's no other way to put it. And Josh Tomlin once again victimized by the home run ball. I wonder if the concept that the Indians are kind of kicking around with Josh Tomlin, if that could be something that, you know, helps, or if that's just a band-aid, you know, with maybe skipping him a start or, you know, give him a breather here or there.
Well, I don't think it could hurt. You know, just from watching him pitch through the month of August, he's had, you know, some rough starts out there. You know, when you give up his last 4, he'd given up, as I mentioned, 7 home runs in those starts in the month of August. And this is the 3rd time he's given up 7 earned runs. He gave up 8, but 7 were earned. 6 to Toronto. And the one start he gave up 3. That was to Boston on that Monday game, if you remember.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out.
By the way, speaking of Boston, that game that Josh pitched was against Drew Pomerantz. Pomerantz, the tough luck loser tonight against Tampa Bay, 2-1. Rays beat the Red Sox. And that gets by the Texas catcher, goes to the backstop.
This guy, has he thrown a fastball yet? I've seen nothing but breaking balls from this guy. This one, he took something off. It gets under the legs of Luke Roy. And that'll be a wild pitch as Perez goes down to second base. They figured, well, it's 9-0. This is the time we can get this guy some work in.
Somebody might want to tell him it's 9-0.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I haven't seen a fastball yet.
I guess the shrieking crowd phenomenon isn't just in Cleveland or other places. It's here in Texas as well. One down as Rajay Davis flies out to right field.
Second baseman Michael Martinez.
Michael Martinez getting an at-bat. Possesses of an
I don't
individual.
know. I don't know.
Hey, I'm just going to shriek at the top of my lungs for no apparent reason whatsoever.
There's got to be a reason, because it's not just. We hear it a lot in our park.
There's a nice play by Odor. Well, Andre's hit. Maybe he knows what that's all about down there.
Maybe going after Andre. No, we got to wake him up first.
I'm awake.
You think that's what the shrieking is? Are
and
you
I'm
taking
not
your
that
shirt
hip.
off down there and
Yeah.
flexing?
I might take my shirt off to wake up the bets.
He's a little
I have to.
cranky.
Even some of the Texas fans don't get it. They're sitting there shaking their head. But I do see a beverage in the hand of one of these favorite fans down here.
Shriekers.
I see him. I see him standing up right there.
In Archie's day, they were streakers. Now they're shriekers.
Streakers.
I like the streakers better.
Yeah, that fits you
Yes,
a
it
little bit
does.
better. We need a streak down here.
Yeah, this is unfortunately streaking in the wrong direction. As Arch said before, they're headed for their 3rd straight loss, which would be the 5th time.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to come out with guns loaded tomorrow to hold off this Texas club. Ground ball to first. This should end it. And the Texas Rangers stomp the Indians tonight by a final score of 9-0. Cole Hamels the winner. He goes to 14-4. And the loss to Josh Tomlin, who will drop to 11-8. Not much window dressing needed for this one. Texas got him early, got him often, and the Indians had no answers for Cole Hamels. So we'll take a break with some final thoughts. That'll be straight ahead right after this.